On this island, we find the Charles Darwin Research Station, next to the main offices of the Galapagos National Park. The station and the Interpretation Center of the National Park allows us to understand a little better the process which forged life on these islands, its dangers, and how we may help conserve this wonderful place. Santa Cruz might be the best place to observe the reptiles of Galapagos. As Darwin mentioned, few places on the planet exist where reptiles dominate the ecosystems, and Galapagos is one of them. The giant tortoises, which give the name to the islands, are perhaps the most representative animal of the archipelago. These immense tortoises can weigh up to 250 kilos and play an important natural function, similar to that which mammals play in other ecosystems. Despite they were not directly observed by Darwin, the giant tortoises were of great importance for the theory of evolution, due to the differences that appear on the shells of the animals from the different islands. The marine iguanas are the only species of its class that feeds from marine algae. Despite being great divers, capable of staying underwater over an hour, most feed from algae on the rocks of the intertidal zone. In the meantime, land iguanas feed off cactus, which in many occasions are eaten with thorns. These animals are commonly observed taking in the sun. This activity is of great importance for their metabolism, since they depend on the environmental conditions to regulate their body temperature. Going from scales to feathers, another group which may be well observed in Santa Cruz are the Darwin finches. These birds may go undetected because they are not the most colorful ones. Nevertheless, they appear in the history of natural science as an emblematic species for evolution. Darwin found the different shapes of the beaks of finches fascinating. He was able to realize that the shape of each beak was an adaptation directly related to the ecology of birds. We leave Santa Cruz towards the island of Seymour. This small island has a trail which offers the best opportunity to observe frigates and blue-footed boobies nesting. Perhaps one of the most appealing characteristics of the frigate birds is the manner in which males attract females by inflating their impressive red sacs in their chests. Despite being experts in the air and in the water, the blue-footed boobies are quite silly on land. The reproductive dance of these birds is a well-worth ritual to observe. You may be wondering why these boobies have blue feet. If you find an explanation, we would like to know. Bartholomew Island offers one of the most spectacular views of all the archipelago. Upon arrival to the bay, we are greeted by the famous Bartholomew Pinnacle. This enormous triangular rock serves as a shelter for the penguins which inhabit this island and with which visitors may swim.
There's a very interesting moment for me, which is that I was actually touched by a penguin. It jumped off a cliff, I was in the water, and it came by and it touched me on the shoulder. So I was a touch of the penguin. That's a big moment for me.
These penguins are the third smallest species in the world, and the only one that inhabits the tropics. Having the opportunity to observe a penguin and even more so to swim with them without a thick diving suit, is something that occurs only in Galapagos. A trail of wooden steps leads us to the highest place of the island where we may admire its beauty. Santa Fe Island offers a crystalline bay with white sandy bottoms that may be catalogued as one of the best snorkeling sites of the archipelago. Marine turtles, white-tipped sharks, rays and sea lions rest in this calm bay and may be observed by simply immersing one's face in the water. It is now time to return to San Cristobal and conclude our journey. It is true that there is still much left to see in Galapagos, and many land, air, and sea creatures to talk about. Nevertheless, we prefer your curiosity to be fulfilled when you visit the islands. Galapagos is with no doubt a paradise. In few other places in the world are the animals still not afraid of human beings and may be observed up close. In no other place may we feel that at each step we are the first people to visit it. Galapagos is the best place to understand that human beings and nature can live in harmony. Galapagos not only belongs to Ecuadorians, but to the whole of the world and awaits your visit.